The film starts with Seth calling his friend Evan to discuss streaming services he's thinking about subscribing to. After carefully considering the options, Seth goes to Evan's house to pick him up for school.
Thanks for taking him, Seth.
No problem.
I can't imagine what you're going to do without each other next year.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Jane.
Graduation is just around the corner for these seniors. Seth believes he's allowed to park in the faculty lot, even while he and Evan run into the gas station before school. They snuck a peek at some racy magazines and grabbed some snacks inside. The conversation revolves around Evan's infatuation with Becca and Seth's feelings for Jules. They feel pressured to lose their virginity before starting college, as they don't want to be the only one in their class who hasn't. As they pulled out of the gas station, a group of bullies, led by Jesse, cut them off. Jesse informs them they are not welcome at his graduation party, and then spits on Seth. Humiliated, they retreat without a fight. Becca hands Evan his pen back after class and inquires about his plans for Jesse's graduation party. He says he's considering it but has a busy schedule with other fun plans, so he's not sure he can make it. Since she never spotted him at any of the parties, she just figured he didn't attend any. Seth is frustrated in cooking class because he's the only one in his group and has to do everything himself. The teacher suggests he works with Jules because her partner was absent that day. They have a blast baking together, and later she invites him to a party at her place that evening. Seth told Evan about the party, and they decided to keep it a secret from Fogel because he's such a buzzkill. Fogel walks into his class and announces that he's going to get a fake ID after school. Seth sees this as a chance to win Jules over and tells Fogel about the party so he can buy them drinks and make them look good in front of the girls. He informs Jules that he's acquiring a fake ID and plans to bring drinks to the party. Seth is disappointed that both Evan and Fogel got into the same school because Evan is his best friend, and they had always planned on going to college together. Over lunch, the conversation remained focused on girls, and Evan challenged him for the disrespectful way he spoke about Becca. Seth says he doesn't like Becca because of an incident in elementary school. Apparently, he was drawing inappropriate pictures, and she caught him.
When I was a little kid, she started crying, she flipped.
The principal informed her parents, and they made him see a counselor. Jules catches Seth after class to confirm he's still bringing drinks to the party. She hands him $100 and specifies the exact drinks she desires. He promises her he'll bring the drinks and then depart. Seth confides in Evan, outlining his plan to woo Jules by getting her drunk and hoping she'll become interested in him. Evan tries to convince himself that Jules is only interested in his alcohol, not him, but Seth encourages him to see it as a chance to hook up before college. Evan told Becca about the party, mentioning that he would bring alcohol. He makes her an offer, and she seems pleased by it.
Yeah, no problem. Like a punch to friend thing.
It's okay.
I didn't mean, I'm sorry.
Seth and Evan were restless, waiting for Fogel after school. When he finally arrived, Seth was enraged. Fogel had bought a ridiculously fake ID with only one name, McCloven, claiming he was 25 years old and from Hawaii. Fogel guarantees the ID will function. Returning to Seth's car, they discovered it had been towed from the faculty parking lot. Seth and Evan headed back to Evan's place to get ready for the party, and they planned to pick up Fogel after his shift. Seth can't go home to get his clothes because he'll be grounded for the car being towed, and Evan's clothes are too small for him to wear. His only choice is to borrow some of Evan's dad's clothes. They catch the bus to link up with Fogel in front of the grocery store where he works. Seth, irritated by the fake ID, declares he'll just steal the alcohol from the grocery store himself. The possibilities of disaster filled his mind as he entered, making him lose his nerve. He retreated to the safety of his friends in the parking lot. The trio takes a bus to the liquor store, where they give Fogel the money and a list of the alcohol needed for the party. Fogel gets the jitters and wants to back out, but Seth pressures him into going through with it.
Hello. I love that stuff. Been drinking it for years.
As Fogel approaches the counter to pay, a man attacks him, robbing the liquor store. The cashier calls the police. Believing the police are coming to arrest Fogel for using a fake ID, Seth and Evan make a hasty retreat. Seth was hit by a man in the parking lot. He suggests driving them to a spot selling alcohol, but only if they swear not to tell the police. Seth and Evan agree and hop into the car. The officers question the cashier and then Fogel at the liquor store. They check his identification and tell McClellan his name is Cool. Because he missed his bus, they offered to drive him. Reaching the party, Seth and Evan go inside.
What's wrong? You Mark?
You weren't invited.
Mark! Got him, man!
The uninvited man was promptly thrown out and beaten by the host. Taking advantage of the distraction, Seth and Evan decided to make their escape. Back inside, Seth suggests taking some liquor with them, but Evan thinks it's a bad idea to carry such a large amount. The police officers guarding McClellan are called away to handle a situation at a local bar, and they take him with them. A rowdy drunk was inside, and Cloven unwittingly aided the police in apprehending him.
I'm glad you want to. All you guys take note.
The police officers decided to celebrate by buying McClellan some drinks and offering him dating tips. While grabbing drinks at the party, Seth got caught up in the excitement and ended up dancing suggestively with a woman. Seth entered the living room after the others finished, only to be greeted by two men pointing out a stain on his pant leg from dancing with a girl. Disgusted, Seth went to the basement to try to get the stain out. Evan calls Becca from home to let her know he's still on his way. As I was on the phone, a few men walked in and began taking some nasal medication. Thinking he's someone they saw at a past party, they approach Evan, and to avoid any trouble, he pretends to be that person. Exploring the basement, Seth found a massive collection of drinks in the fridge. Deciding to get creative, he grabbed some nearby detergent containers and started filling them with alcohol. The cops stay with McClellan, drinking, until they're called to a house party Seth and Evan are at, which they have to break up. They bring more than a dozen beers with them on the trip. Returning upstairs with the detergent, Seth is met by the party host. Seth had been dancing with the host's fiancée. A massive brawl breaks out, but Seth and Evan manage to escape. Driving down the road, Seth confronts Evan, expressing anger about being abandoned at the party and also about being left behind when Evan went to college. Suddenly, the police car, with Fogel still inside, came speeding down the street and struck Seth.
Where's the love?
They threaten Seth with a gun, then try to frame him, using his age and the presence of alcohol as an excuse. To protect the cops from blame for hitting Seth, one of them writes a witness statement for Fogel to sign. Fogel was given a cigarette to calm him down, and as he stepped out of the car, he noticed Seth and Evan waiting. Evan sprints away to draw the police's attention, allowing Seth and Fogel to escape in the opposite direction. The police lose track of the boys, but they eventually reunite. With their drinks in hand, they realize the party is only 3 blocks away. Seth and Evan argue outside after Seth discovers Evan will share a college dorm with Fogel. Seth walks into the party by himself carrying alcohol, and Jules points him out to everyone. Everyone celebrates Seth, and he's quite the drinker. Becca's friend tells Evan that Becca is intoxicated and has been waiting for him all evening. Evan acknowledges that it would be wrong to be physically intimate with Becca. It's acceptable if he's drunk as well. In the bathroom, he drinks liquor until he's intoxicated. Seeing the girl he's been admiring at school dancing in the living room, Fogel decides to join her, hoping to impress her with his fake ID. After Evan got drunk, he went outside to Becca's place. They drank some more before Becca took him inside and upstairs to her room. Evan found their attempts at mutual massage uncomfortable and claimed he was too intoxicated. Becca mocks him, then vomits and insists he call her friend to help her. Seth located Jules and requested a conversation outside. He leans in to kiss her, but she pulls back. She tells him she's completely sober and doesn't feel right about kissing him or doing anything else while he's so intoxicated. Frustrated by his failed plan, Seth faints, accidentally hitting Jules in the eye with his head. The police arrive to shut down the party, brandishing their weapons and warning the teens to leave. Upon hearing the police have arrived, Seth frantically begins looking for Evan. Discovering his friend passed out on the couch from excessive drinking, Seth carried him out of the party. Upstairs, the officers discovered Fogel engaged with the girl he had been dancing with. She was startled and fled the scene. Apologizing for the interruption, the police explained they knew his name wasn't McClellan all along. They were trying to show him and themselves that police officers can have fun too. They apologized to Fogel for interrupting him, asking how they can make it up to him. Fogel, wanting to look cool, has them escort him out of the party and put him in the back of a car so the kids on the lawn will think he's a big shot. Evan stirs awake in Seth's arms, and they both apologize for the arguments they had earlier that night. Evan asks Seth to spend the night at his house. Sprawled on the floor with sleeping bags, they shared their sadness about the upcoming college separation. The boys drunkenly professed their love for each other. The following morning, Seth seemed uncomfortable, but Evan attempted to ease the situation by suggesting they spend time together instead of Seth hurrying home. They're heading to the mall together so Evan can pick out a comforter for his dorm room. At the mall, Seth and Evan unexpectedly encountered Becca and Jules shopping as a pair. Since Becca vomited on Jules' old comforter, she's going to buy her a new one. The four teens mumbled apologies, and it seemed like everything was okay again. Jules asks Seth to come along with her so he can buy her foundation to cover up her bruised eye. Evan and Becca decided to go comforter shopping together. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.